In 6 months, I gained more muscle than during my year and a half of weightlifting. So, weightlifting or rebounding for toxic mold illness? In this video, I want to compare the difference. One of the biggest hindrances to recovering from toxic mold illness is that it clogs up our lymph and our fascia. When we exercise, especially a lot of cardio, it creates lactic acid that makes us even sicker. It makes it hard for us to recover, and we tend to lose muscle. At least maybe that was just my story. Let me know in the comments below, have you lost muscle mass while dealing with toxic mold illness? Do your muscles sag more? Do you feel weaker? Let me know. I've done an experiment over the last several years of what works best for recovery. This is just my personal experience. I'm not an athletic trainer, but I believe I found a secret when it comes to toxic mold illness. When I started weightlifting, I had a muscle percentage of 29%. And when I finished a year and a half later, I was up to 35%. So in a year and a half, I increased from 29% to 35%. I felt really good. The reason I stopped is we adopted a 10-pound Yorkie that had extreme trauma. Every time I left the house, I felt guilty, and so I stopped working out. June of 2025, I was introduced to rebounding. I can do that at home, and I would try it just a little bit. I started 3 minutes. Unfortunately, I was already back down to 20% muscle. It is now December. I am now up to 36% muscle mass. So in 6 months time frame, I gained more muscle than I did during my year and a half of weightlifting. Maybe it's just really good for my body, and you don't know until you try. And so this is just an experiment that you should do with your body if you're interested in keeping your muscle mass. So why keep your muscle mass? Well, our muscle mass affects our metabolism. So if we have lower muscle mass, we're going to be more lethargic, more tired. We're going to be cold all the time, less happy. Happy vibes come through having a good, strong metabolism. Also, we're less likely to fall and break something, or we're going to be able to pick up our grandkids or our grandpuppies. Play with them, throw the ball, do things with them. That's going to be life-changing for our future. It could make the difference between a depressing end and a happy end, right? And rebounding is so safe.
Hello, beautiful. I am so excited that you joined me in this video. And when I was recording it, I forgot to mention that I have a free resource for you. It's called the Made to Heal Roadmap. Did you know that God is an orderly God? Did you know that He has a formula that we can follow to achieve His promises? In this roadmap, I have laid out exactly the steps that I took. I want to save you time. Comment map below. I'll get that right to you.
And rebounding is so safe. This is my rebounder handles. You can just go up and down. Whether you're sitting, you're standing, whatever, you can use the handle, hold on to it so you don't fall. It's just really safe. You don't have to be aggressive. I recently did another video about how it helps with lymphatic drainage. If the mold gets into our bodies and clogs up our lymph, we can't detoxify as well. For me, it was all throughout my lymph. I was so inflamed. I lost weight when I started rebounding just because I started losing that extra water that's been held up in my lymph. That gentle bouncing up and down, nothing vigorous, nothing crazy, but that gentle bouncing helps relieve you, helps move it through your liver, move it out of your body, and so that your body is going to feel better. It's gonna feel like it has more energy. Let me know if you try rebounding, and let me know, do you have more energy? We're in the middle of winter here in Michigan, and I still feel like moving. I don't need to stay curled up in a blanket, cuddled up in the chair. I want to move. It's a huge change from the past. I loved weightlifting, but I love rebounding for recovery from toxic mold illness. It's a game changer. At least it has been in my life. And so I highly encourage you to give it a try. You don't have to spend a lot of money. In my last video, I showed you my hand-me-down mini trampoline, which I've used for all of this muscle mass change. Now my husband bought me one of the bee cans. I'll put it down below also. My list of dream mini trampolines in the show notes for you, so you can look at it if you're limited on your budget, or if you just want to start with something inexpensive. Try the bee can. Get started. It's so easy. One of the keys to recovery from toxic mold illness is movement. And yet it's one of the hardest things to do because it causes so much pain in our bodies. I joked about my hair even hurting, but my feet hurt so bad. My legs, my arms, everything hurt. Finding a gentle way of recovery. I wish that I had found this sooner. I wish I had started rebounding, because I wouldn't have ever been able to start with weightlifting. I was too sick. I was bedbound, but I could have started with a minute of rebounding every day and found some relief. In fact, I probably would have done a minute before my infrared sauna, and wow, that would have really increased the benefits of the sauna. If you're dealing with toxic mold illness, I would so encourage you to try it for yourself, or ask a friend to borrow theirs. If you're already moved out of a toxic mold environment, make sure you're not bringing in a mini trampoline that comes from another person's moldy home. If their home is moldy, don't bring it into your home, because it will hold those mold toxins, those mycotoxins. It will hold in the trampoline, and every time you bounce, it's going to spew that into the air. So I would recommend purchasing a brand new one. You'll instantly notice the energy in your body. At least I think you will. That's my experience. So I think that you'll really love it. Also, in my mold healing journey, I took a very specific path. It was a 4-step path. I put that in an ebook format that I really want to get to you. Comment map below. It'll simplify every step of the way. Your body was made by God to heal. He designed you in His image. He gave you His DNA. You can heal. He loves you so much. He doesn't want you to stay sick. The thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. He came to give life abundantly. Don't accept the sickness as your forever. And you probably aren't, because you're watching my video and because you're looking for a way out of the toxic mold and a way to heal from the toxic mold. I'm excited for you. God has big plans in store for you. Be blessed.